Well, how's it shaking, proxies? My name's FOXSOL. Welcome to another video right here on the channel. Do hope you enjoy. Good day, oh good day, proxies. Welcome to another react right here on the channel. And we're going to go through the live stream version of what our good old buddy, old pal Senpai over here, our Zenless Zone content creator of the evening, is going to state. So apparently there is some drip marketing issues going on, and I figure it's a good chance to go ahead and let our senpai go ahead and explain to us some of the problems. Are you interested? I'm interested. Let's go ahead and find out right now just what's going on with Zenless Zone Zero.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've got something to discuss today about the game that I believe is heading down one of the most tragic paths in gacha history. The downfall of Zenless Zone Zero is something that I believe should be studied.
All right, I'm going to do just like you, sir. Wow, that is a lot to take in just the first couple of seconds of this video that he is recording. The downfall of Zenless Zone Zero. Guys, I don't know, man. I think we might be EOS next month, guys.
Because oh my, they are in some pretty interesting practices right now. So if you've been keeping up with the news in regards to this game, you would understand that there's been quite a bit of drip marketing that's been released in the past couple of hours. You got your good old Manato over here, teased during version 2.1, I think, also per tease.
Which I'm going to tell you right now, mwah, we are maining this character. This is the most beautiful character. Dude, I've been waiting for this character to come into ZZZ. I've been waiting for a character like this. Some fucking gruff, big son of a bitch with a goddamn fucking sword and some anger issues. Kind of reminds me of another character from a series called Guilty Gear. Soul Bad Guy.
During 2.0, he's going to be an A rank. Some people are upset about that. We'll get to that in a second. And they've also teased another character who basically just looks like Jane Doe and Yishuan combined. Yeah, they basically just took like the pantsuit, whatever that is, basically, yeah, whatever that piece of clothing is, those booty shorts. They took Yishuan's booty shorts and put on Jane Doe's head and then made her hair blue.
All right. That's a lot to take in there. While I can agree with the lower part issue that he's talking about the booty shorts, I do kind of see a resemblance to Shifu's booty shorts. But those are different eyes. Those are different ears. That's definitely a bigger nose than Jane Doe's. We got horns, and if you take a look at the front part of the hair, it kind of comes out like this. Not similar at all, because even the bangs are kind of longer. You know, it goes past almost the chin, where hers is right here before the chin. And then if you see like all the hair, how it's going back behind the head, Jane's is just split right here apart. So I'm not exactly sure how that is Jane Doe's head. Maybe Senpai could explain some more. Let's see.
Yeah, that kind of just seems to be exactly what's going on over here. I think there's a little bit of Ganyu mixed in as well with the horns. But that is going to be Lucia.
Ganyu. Who is Ganyu? Let's see. I've never heard of Ganyu. So let's bring this back down. Let me pop up this picture right here. Open image in the new category. Come here. Bring. This is Ganyu. All honesty, I could actually kind of give that to him. But I don't know. This looks like maybe more like an older version of Ganyu. but the hair is still relatively different. But I can kind of see a resemblance. So I think we could give that. What do you guys think in the chat? I think we can give that, right? We can give him that. You know, it brings in a little bit of a Ganyu flair. The hair color's kind of good and everything else. I think we can go with that.
And this is the thing, right? I'm not necessarily going to go ahead and say that there's anything wrong with like the drip marketing, the art, any of that. Some people could say, basically echo the concerns that I just made. Seems a little bit unoriginal. But what I actually want to focus on isn't actually the designs or any of that. It's the date of these announcements. And you would understand that drip marketing is something that occurs before a version releases. But is it something that occurs 2 versions in advance? 2 versions in advance, ladies and gentlemen. Because right now, ZZZ is currently on patch 2.1. There's 11 days actually left in patch 2.1. And they are already beginning to drip market for patch 2.3. I think that's a little bit crazy. And it's kind of even crazier when you know that 2.0 is supposed to be like the update that changes everything for this game. And then when they release drip marketing for version 2.2, which is in 11 days, they did it a month ago. They drip marketed for Seed and Orpheus and Magus. They drip marketed for them on July 24th and July 25th. They did that basically 8 and 9 days into the 2.1 or the 2.0 update. Or sorry, in the 2.1 update. 8 or 9 days into the 2.1 update, they had these guys come out. And a month later, with that much time left in the patch, we've already got the next set of units. Guys.
Okay.
If you don't understand essentially what is going on here, this is basically an admission from the devs. This is basically an admission from the marketing team that this company is getting desperate.
Okay, so the company's getting desperate. It's an admission, you're saying. That I'm going to assume, since pretty much, relatively, you're very easy to follow, that what you're trying to get here is, and correct me if I'm wrong, St. Tonus, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're trying to push that you know that 2.2 is going to be an issue. So the marketing team is scrambling, from what you're basically going to say here, to try to go ahead and push this drip marketing for 2.3 well before 2.2 drops, just to keep people interested and excited for the game, because they knew after releasing the drip marketing for Seed and Orphe that it was a failure. Am I getting this correct?
This game
Let's
is
see.
getting incredibly desperate, to the point where they don't even need to see like what the income, what the trajectory is of the newest units. They already know that Seed and Orpheus, they already know that these two are kind of already failures. They kind of already know that these 2 units aren't going to be doing that well. Kind of like just not profitable at all. And because of that, they've already started drip marketing the next set of banners so that people can still retain their hype. Because holy moly, I don't think anyone gives a fuck about these units.
Okay. So this is the first time you're going to make this is the first time ZZZ is realizing a problem, you're saying. It's not like ZZZ's ever done this before, right? I mean, it's not like back on, I don't know, January 24, 25, and the day before on January 23, that ZZZ did not already release a character that was not going to be released until April. So with the patches with the banners from the end of January, February, and March, ZZZ already knew those months were going to be a failure. So they were already just telling people, hey, look, don't worry about it until April. They were desperate back then, too. I mean, I'm just saying here that from what I'm looking at, and then if I could go ahead and just see, you know, didn't Weather and Waves also do this? Like 5 months ago? 5 months ago, when they posted all of this for Phoebe, Brant, Roshia, Zanny, and Carlotta, didn't they already go ahead and do all this drip marketing well beforehand, all the way back in what? November of 2024, before the game even released in January? That was all the way back in version 1.4. Oh my. Okay. So, with that being taken, so they knew that pretty much that Weather and Waves also was having issues, so their marketing team was also desperate too, right?
And that naturally, right, goes into like the whole character design, the whole planning process. Why are these devs creating units, creating things that people aren't that interested in the first place, and then going ahead and, integrating them into the game? And the worst part about all of this is that people seem to really be echoing the concerns when it comes to the overused, rehashed designs. You can see over here that this has 26K likes on the new 5-star unit that came out first. Lucia, right? Then you go over to the 4-star Manato, and this guy actually has more likes. This guy actually has more marketing. And the thing is that, oh my goodness, what is actually going on here, ladies and gentlemen? This looks yet like another character design, another unit that people don't give a shit about. And we're doing this with basically 3 5-stars in a row. Look at the likes on these units. 20K on Orpheus, 24K on Seed. And then we got 34K on Manato released this morning. Guys, if it's not clear what's going on over here, it's pretty I think it's actually pretty evident.
I mean, I'm not clear about this. All I know is that this is on Twitter and that there's different social media sites, and whether it is the official Twitter page, whether it's the official YouTube. I mean, okay, so let's go take a look at something really quickly then. If you guys are willing to come and join me on this little journey here, let's go really quickly. Give me a second here. Let's go take a look at something really quickly. Let's go to the official Zenless Zone Zero channel here. Pop this open. I just want to take a look. Wow. Manato on YouTube's got only 456K views compared to Lucia here that has 723K views for drip marketing. 41K likes, 29K likes. Okay. Orphe and Magus got 700K video views, and Seed's got 1 million video views on a short. Let's go take a look at something. Seed's got 43K likes, and Orphe's got 40K likes. But Manato, an A-rank character, which, trust me, I'm all for this character, he's only got 29K. On the official YouTube channel. And we're only counting this. I don't think it's as evident as you're trying to make it seem to be.
The character designs in this game have been absolutely falling off of a cliff. Pretty much everything in regards to Zenless Zone Zero has been falling off of a cliff. The story, the puzzle design, the environment, the dialogue. It seems like it's AI written, half of it. The progression doesn't make sense. They combine story quests with character story quests, and the end result is every quest feels like trash.
So, Forlova's story, which a lot of people did love, okay? A lot of people did like it. They didn't think it was the best in Weather and Waves. But one of the biggest complaints that I have heard from several different people is that it felt like a companion story that was mixed with the main quest, that the issue was with the church and with Forlova, whatever. It was two stories mixed into one. It wasn't just about Forlova. It was also about whatever his name is, Frandreco, whatever the hell his name is, also a church guy, to where he just shows up and everything. So didn't Weather and Waves do the same thing of mixing, a main story quest to something that was about Forlova? And just kind of felt like out of place? Because that was a reason why a lot of CCs that I remember was complaining about, is that it was a good story. It was a good, it was a good main quest. But the one thing they got kind of confused on, and one thing that they had a little bit of problem with, is that it felt like you were mixing two stories into one, and it was not confusing, but it was just really kind of like made it off-putting. It made it a little bit decent, half decent. That it was more about Forlova, and then you're just mixing this part in, and then ta-da. To where the main villain of the story didn't really get his time. But regardless, okay.
And it's completely contrived, and it feels like it shouldn't make any sense, and there's a deus ex machina coming in to resolve every single plot point, every single plot hole that ends up occurring when you force characters into the story. And they do it over and over again. They're going to be doing the same exact thing for 2.1, or sorry, for 2.2 with Seed and Orpheus, somehow weaving their main stories into the Exaltus plotline.
Do you know that for a fact? Number one. Number two, if I'm not mistaken, in 2.1, you made this argument, and we talked about this yesterday on the live stream. You were making the argument that is like high school students, with the Exaltus and everything else, all this crap, and they're doing the job of the military, but it's like Alice and... Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to try to simplify this as basic English as possible. Two high school styled characters, Alice and Yuzuha, pretty much are going on a little trip and everything, doing pranks and everything to one another. They get involved in the hollow. They go at, they're doing a little bit of searching. Oh! Well, thank you, Spy, for following the channel. But anyway, continuing on this real quick. I do appreciate it, sir. I thank you very much. But we need to get to this point right here. Two high school students. If anything, the best way I could put it is just like in any kind of anime scenario, you have two high school students that pretty much get involved. They're doing their own little thing. They're doing their own little investigation about things, and they get confronted by the Exaltus. They get confronted by everything that's going in. And if I'm not mistaken, when they get out and they have to rush out and bust out, that is when they call the military, because if I'm not mistaken, isn't the proxies like already met, the military, quote unquote, and conversation, everything brings everyone together to where the military needs to do a job. Even Shifu had to jump in to save the day. Okay? Like in typical anime fashion. Two high school students with their friends goes into hideout, pretty much all hell breaks loose. Fucking your master comes in to save the day, escape. Now we got to bring in the armed forces. It's not like they actually went do the job on purpose. It's not like, oh, we can go handle this on our own. They were doing their own like Scooby-Doo investigation and got caught up in pretty much a world of mess. Got out of it. I mean, am I wrong about like in the general English terminology chat? Am I wrong about this? He also felt that Alice and the other girl had way too much in common to be coincidental. Well, I mean, wasn't that explained? Like, you know, Alice's father with Yuzuha and everything, and Yuzuha felt bad because she pretty much took Alice's father away in that sense, and went in on her own to try to make up for her guilty conscience and everything else, because basically she was like a lab experiment. I'm just saying, there was more to the story. And again, story is very subjective to people, but yeah, it all intertwines, just like a typical anime, just like a typical anime episodes. I mean, Goku has relations with Raditz, Vegeta, with Frieza, stuff like that. I'm just saying. Well, let's continue on.
And just imagine what they're going to be doing for these guys. And I just got to say, this isn't even the only issue. There's even more problems that are occurring. I've only
more problems. Oh no.
Scratched the surface here.
Ooh.
When we actually click on into Komano Manato's drip marketing and we see some of the quote retweets and we see some of the discussions that are going on, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, it does actually get noticeably worse. So we got Jazz over here on X, who's decided to go ahead and compile some comments related to the drip marketing. And this, I don't think this is even related at all to like the failure in character design. This is more like a mismanagement of character design. People are upset that he's not an S rank. People are upset that he's a 4-star. Because a lot of the parts of his design, they seem to be better, more engaging, or at least the player base seems to like him a lot more than some of the existing 5-star units. And I'm gonna be real here. When you have garbage, dog shit looking designs like this, like, holy fuck, how do we go from Diva and Firefly to this? What a fucking abomination. She's got the most boring face and like just one of the most boring character designs possibly in gacha history, as well as like the voice design on these two units kind of makes people wish they were deaf. It's...
Can we be completely honest here, Saintonus? What you're trying to portray here is a factual statement. Not everybody believes that. So I would like to go ahead and take the time really quickly to help out the community. Okay? And today in class, give me a second here. We're going to go through 2 words that we need to discuss really quickly. The first word being factual. And then the second word being subjective. So, when it comes to factual, it's an adjective. It is the concern that what is the case, or rather, is interpretations or relations to do it. Okay? A mixture of comment and factual information. Pretty much came into the broad time of how it was being over time used. And subjective is based or influenced about people's feeling, tastes, or opinions. Factual, in all honesty of the word, is the relating to facts or factual error or factual aspects to a case. Restrictions to are based upon a factual statement. I'm going to say it like this. In the live streams that I have ran, going through with different people when the drip marketing hit for both Orphe and Seed, I have a lot of people who have different opinions. Their opinions that they have, for the ones that do not like Orphe, to the ones that do not like Seed, and to the ones that do, is based on a subjective trait. Because it is influenced by their personal taste, whether they like the character design, whether they like the characters of, the feeling of the character, whether they like the gameplay. It's based on a subjective opinion. Not everyone has made claims to a factual statement that, they hate the character. So before we go ahead and go out of our way to try to say that, people don't like Seed, they don't like Orphe, she's bland, and people are saying all this, tone it down a little bit for your next time you talk about ZZZ and the characters in relation, and relate it that is your feeling, your opinion, which is subjective. Thank you.
It's no surprise that people are upset that Manato is a 4-star, because he kind of is the most well-designed out of the bunch that we've seen. Actually unique body design, all of that, new to the game, and then we just have Yi Xuan plus God Yu plus Jane Doe.
We have taken the ability earlier to watch the leaks. We're not going to showcase leaks on this video or on this stream right here, but we have looked at the leaks, right, guys? I think every single one of us that has been interested in this after the drip marketing and with the videos popping all over the place, it was hard to avoid anyway. But a lot of people did look at Lucia, Manato, and then we even did take a look at another waifu that is going to come in that's going to be an S-rank character, no name. But in all honesty, wouldn't you guys say, compared to Lucia and with Manato, while Manato looks great as a character, while he plays and his design is great, Lucia's design, Lucia's gameplay, and everything else is a little bit more animational, flashy. It looks like there's a lot more going to her kit than Manato, to which means, you know what? In general, Manato probably, can I not say, kind of looks dull compared to Lucia. So, I mean, just basing on drip marketing also, I mean, if you take a look at Lucia versus Manato's drip marketing, right? Taking a look at both their character designs. Manato, leather jacket, bandaged arm, sword, lots of belts, trench jacket, white beater, pants, tennis shoes, necklace, cuff. While he's a great design character, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot more colors, there's a lot more variation in Lucia. There's a lot more going into this design than into this design. That is a subjective point of view for me, but then again, I am still more so happy about Manato, and we'll talk more about Manato, and another reason why him being an A rank is actually not a bad thing.
People aren't very happy. So let's read some of those comments. Fuck ZZZ, boring game, garbage decisions, random nobody gets S rank and joins magically the Spook Shack. But Manato, who was seen since 2.0, gets the A rank treatment just for being male.
Wait a second here. We already got a problem with this comment. Fuck ZZZ, boring game, garbage designs, random nobody gets S rank and joins magically the Spook Shack but Manato. Could it be a possibility that this character, is going to come in and Manato, Yuzuha, Alice or whatever, or especially Yuzuha, might already know this character. I mean, if they're part of the Spook Shack faction, I would kind of assume that what's coming in, Yuzuha might already know them. Could be a possibility. Magically just show up? I don't think so. That's me personally. I don't think so. Or maybe they might magically show up, but I don't see that trait happening. Spook Shack is a forum. That's what yeah, it's on the internet. It's on the internet. Like, they're all talking about it.
I hope every banner flops. Can't wait for this game to get washed away. They've triggered they triggered a certain part of the community, ladies and gentlemen. A rank after all this. Kinda hate y'all right now. You introduced a character we haven't met yet as an S rank, but not the one so many people were excited about. Like, I adore Manato, but this is super disappointing. You guys fucked up so bad it's painful to watch. Literally one of the most hyped character, and you set him up as a failure as an A rank DPS. I'm uninstalling just for this shit. Are you kidding me? We're waiting this long for Manato, and he's an A rank. And guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not pulling no Mr. Jokey. I'm not pulling a Mr. Pokey over here and then reacting to posts that only have 1 like that are made by an account with 1 or 2 followers. This is a healthy amount of engagement. Over 400 likes, or close to 400 on all the comments posting that. I don't think people are very happy with this one. I don't think they're happy with this. I don't think they're happy with that.
Okay. Let's take a look. So, this is the post. This is the Manato post. 36k hearts on this. Manato sounds like another cookie-cutter character dressed in quirky lines, nothing original, just recycle architect to keep fans distracted. Manato pulling 8888%, has 230 likes. Daddy, I mean, what a fine gentleman. 552 likes. Fuck yeah, with 34 likes. Fire's really eating so good. 142. The man, the myth, the legend. Absolute Cinema. 384. How many of these we're getting right here that he was showcasing? Let's go back 5. 400, 600, 700, 300. Oi, oi, oi. We got apparently someone put that there. I need him to choke me. 104 thing. If he's an A rank, is he A rank or S rank? Here's the one right here. 665. Please change Manato to S rank. Thank you. He's really, not an A rank. Let's go. He's real, not an A rank. Ain't no fucking way you made him an A rank. Fuck you guys with 790. You guys start listening to your players before you have the EOS. Players want Manato as an S rank out of respect. The love of waifu is over. The time started to treat males like you do. Okay. I mean, it is a very much, finally A rank Manato, my wish come true. It's, to me, seriously, A rank. Y'all made him an A rank. Fuck y'all. Like, there is some people out here that is seemingly upset. And there's people here who like it. It's very subjective. I mean, look, I'm disappointed that he's not S rank, but I like this one, A. Oh. But can we be honest that one of the main reasons why that is not a thing is because look at what happened with Hugo. Hugo didn't sell, right? Like, we can go look at the data on that later. Like, Hugo did not sell in his banner. Now, Hugo has some things against him, don't get me wrong. He already had 2.0 dawning right over him, to which a lot of people did not want to pull in the banner. They wanted to save their polycrons for the 2.0 anniversary. But still, Hugo really didn't sell. And when it comes to games that, like, ZZZ is known for, which is gooning, and I think from what we looked at originally, with the view counts and everything right now for YouTube audience side, it kind of looks like the females get a lot more likes. It kind of looks like to me that the females themselves, I mean, even look at like this 128K. Trigger's got 900K. Yeah, I think the audience prefers female. Majority of it.
Happy with this one. I don't think they're happy with this. I don't think they're happy with that. And they're definitely not happy with this one. Because holy shit, 20K is diabolical. 20K on a post like this, advertising the new unit, is legitimately diabolical. Now let's keep seeing what else we got over here. There's even more comments. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Made to be an A rank for some ugly fucking... I think they're referring to her. I can't believe you made him an A rank after all that hype he got and all that screen time. A rank, seriously, you guys are really trying hard to make me uninstall the game. And then we've even got Age over here. I know I said I wasn't going to react to any of her ZZZ content. Well, this is a tweet, not a video. We can just read her tweet out loud because she posted this publicly. Why didn't you just release him in 2.1 then? Why all the build-up for A ranks? So it seems like this has made everybody mad. And I guess the interesting part, or probably the funny part about all of this, is that if these designs were like just better, if the kits were better, the movesets were better, if she didn't look like a 12-year-old writing a segue for 90% of her animations, if she didn't look like actually AI-generated garbage, where the prompt was Jane Doe, Ganyu, and Yi Zhuan, can you make a character that looks like all three? I feel like people wouldn't be as upset for Manato being an A rank. But
we're really going to hit the AI on this? When there is clear patterns, and I have a video on this, when there is clear patterns that Weathering Waves does use AI technology in the helping of creating their own characters as well as their world structure from feedback. Because there are several patents that Kuro Games has, which is based on image generation, so that way they could provide a system that will take feedback in the course of the fans to take away from the library of resources they have provided to create characters. That's the reason why the surveys have been recently including stuff like this, like, hey, do you like this type of anime? Do you like this? So that way they could process it in an AI system to create templates of what is possible character designs. So that way they can later go ahead and utilize that to generate their own character. So basically, if you read the patents, quick sign-ups on this, quick, too long, don't read version of this, is that they have a system that generates a mock-up of a character from their own stuff. And it's not saying that they're using it to create the character, like to create a 3D model or anything like this and animate it. It's just to go ahead and give them an idea. Like, hey, look, from all the feedback, and we took all this, a lot of people love Gojo, a lot of people love Goku, a lot of people like Rurouni Kenshin, whatever. And if we mix all of this, this would be a ideal design that might work in this process, to which some artist takes from that and takes different ideas and puts it together. So that's pretty much what they did. And you're going to complain and make a statement that this is AI when we have clear facts that Weathering Waves does implement AI into their systems for designing purposes. Even the world, it has an AI system that helps generate architect to try to go ahead and make sure that, when people like, do they like Italian architect? Do they like this? Do they like that? To try to go ahead and help generate a world. It's all in the patents. We saw it all.
I feel like people wouldn't be as upset for Manato being an A rank, but he legitimately seems like one of the only units across the last couple of months that's had any effort at all actually put into his fucking design. And then he's an A rank while all the garbage rather than the cream is going to the top. And let's just be honest about this, ladies and gentlemen. What are these developers doing? What is this marketing team doing? What is like the character design team doing?
I think what they're doing is that they have an understanding that more people, more male players like pulling for female sexy characters and stuff like this. That with Manato, they tried doing something with Hugo. Didn't quite work as well as they wanted to. So for Manato, they figured, hey, let's make it an A rank character, make it to where it's more accessible. Which look, regardless whether you're disappointed, I'm also kind of disappointed he's not an S rank, but the way I look at it is, guess what? He's not an S rank character. He's more accessible. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier to M6 and R5 him and get him on the ground. And unlike some other games that does not have 4-star characters in it and only limited fucking S rank characters in it, 5-star characters, at least in here with ZZZ, there are still many people who use A rank characters and love them. That is very viable to their teams. And Manato will be no exception. Piper is still a great A rank character. Lucy is still utilized. Even you, sir, with your Miyabi team, uses an A rank hunter. I'm just saying.
You look at all of this garbage, all of this trash that is coming out over the past couple of months across 2.1, 2.2, into 2.3 and beyond. And you're just like, how has this game fallen so fucking far? How has there been such a downturn in things like the story, in things like think about every unit that we had released before. Think about the lighters, think about the Miyabis, think about the Yanagis, think about all of these higher quality units, higher quality character designs that were released earlier in the game's life cycle.
I'm not gonna lie, like I said before, we looked at the leaks on the characters, and I don't know. Lucia kind of looks a little bit more flashier than Miyabi. Kind of seems a little bit more flashier than Lighter. Personally, there's a lot more going on with that character from what we've seen in the beta footage than anything.
Character designs have literally just got... I need to look at the ZZZ release schedule. ZZZ banner release. Surely they have one, and we could just take a look at like what the designs are. ZZZ release history. Here we go. Surely, right. Oh, and just as a quick fun thing, yeah, there's a mobile gaming company that's doing game awards for the best game update of the year. They considered HSR 3.0 to be better than ZZZ 2.0. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's an embarrassment on its own.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at that later on this live stream.
Yeah, that is one badge of shit that you probably don't. The fuck is this?
You put it twice, buddy.
All right, here we go.
Good job.
The version updates. All right, so wow, yeah, Vivian and Hugo, very well designed. Silver Ambient Trigger actually look cool. Astra, Yao, and Evelyn, also good designs. Miyabi and Haramasa, great designs. Yanagi, great. The Sons of Kaladin, also great design. And then you had the whole police force. I think the police force looks the jankiest out of the bunch, but I think people still like them, right? It's just, where has it gone? Like, what even is this compared to the past stuff that's been released in the game? Like, this is, without a doubt, like, these are the worst character designs the game has ever had.
Really?
The worst ones they've ever fucking had.
Look, I will give it this. When it comes to Seed, I do not like Seed's design. Orphe looks like a Metal Gear Rising character, in my personal opinion. And Lucia looks more like a Dungeons and Dragons type character. But it fits, like, Lucia kind of fits the Spook Shack theme, right? Occultists, you know, scary stories, kind of fits that theme. Seed's the only one out of the bunch that I don't think it is, you really looking too much at Seed. You're looking at Seed Senior, but I will have to say, Seed herself, I don't like the design per se myself. It's not for me. But to some people out there, it's probably for them.
And then the one guy that seems to be able to navigate all the muck, it's an A rank. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, it's becoming clearer and clearer what's happening over here, right? You piece together all of the...
Can I be honest here? Can I be really honest? We're saying that Manato has a lot of thought process into his design. This is what, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, this is what St. Tonus is pushing, is that Manato has absolutely the most thought process in his design compared to every other character. Correct? I'm about to hurt myself. This is sad. I'm about to go ahead and hurt myself.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, shit. It's not just for you, Fox. It's for me. Hold on. Hold on. I don't want to admit this. What I'm about to fucking show, I do not want to admit this. But I guarantee you, if this character was an S rank, St. Tonus would be having a whole totally different argument, right? Being like, this would be. Let me play devil's advocate. Let's say that this is a multiverse and Manato here is an S rank. Okay, this is what St. Tonus probably would be going against. It would be an unique design that it looks like. Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. I guarantee you that would be the argument that would have been made. That they stole from Final Fantasy. Same pose, same idealism. Guy, gun sword, but big sword, badass pose, leather jacket, white shirt. You're really saying that this character had a lot more thought process in its design? I'm just saying.
You piece together all the evidence that's going on over here. The absolutely dismal reception of these new units. They're released 8 days into the update. In a desperation plea, 11 days before 2.2 even begins, they've already started advertising.
Let's wrap this video up.
For units that are releasing 50 plus days from now. They're releasing in 50 plus days, ladies and gentlemen. And they're already advertising them because these characters...
January 23, 2025 trigger.
I don't know what's going on at this company. I feel like I've been asking the question day after day. And I think at this point, if you're not accepting of the fact that this game has diminished incredibly in the short span of about 6 months, it's downgraded this significantly. If you're not able to recognize that, I don't really know what else to say, right? I just think you need to be cognizant of when a game is giving you less than what it did before. And there's no reason for a company like Hoyoverse that makes this much fucking money and has this much fucking budget to actively make the game worse as time goes on. That's just, and especially when you know the track record of Honkai Impact 3rd, the game that you know is definitely like not a moneymaker for Hoyo. That gets updates to make the game better every patch.
Because Hoyoverse, by you just stating that, kind of shows that they still care about their old properties. That they didn't just throw Honkai Impact 3rd out the door when Genshin Impact made $1 billion. When Honkai Star Rail made $1 billion. They just didn't throw it out the door. that they still know they have fans. And you know what? They're still loyal to that game. So all you just made a statement here is that one thing and another, Hoyoverse still respects the fans enough not to EOS it.
That's like the actual love child of Hoyoverse. This is the red-headed step cousin. HI3 is getting more support than ZZZ currently with how this shit has been tracking. Because good God, what an absolute
Are you sure about that?
miss. Patch over patch over fucking patch. Waiting for the next soft relaunch. Don't worry. They'll probably advertise the soft relaunch for version 2.4. They'll start advertising that in the middle of 2.2. Don't worry. They'll fix the game again. The announcement will probably come up 3 days into version 2.2 that they're fixing everything in 2.4 once again. Every single time you expect something from this game and all you get is disappointment. And this is just another example of it. So yeah, that'll be that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about this situation. And peace.
Well, I think we have our thoughts about the situation. I think we have our thoughts about a lot of different things here. I think that for the recap on this is not the first time ZZZ has announced anything. Zero Zambi and Trigger were back, January 23rd. When it comes down to drip marketings on Twitter, we can clearly see, since he's trying to say that more people are interested in Manato, well, view count on YouTube, where the video was released for our YouTube people, kind of shows.
If they mess with
Hold on. Oh, and look, new drip marketing.
I didn't keep you waiting too long, did I? Idhari, call my name when you need me.
Yidhari. God damn, thank you, Saintonus.
Did I? Idhari, call my name when you need me.
So we even got new drip marketing that just jumped in. That's already at 7.1k video views, 457k to 725k. Magus is 701, and Seed, the one that looks the worst, it's got 1 million fucking views. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think, personally, that ZZZ is heading in a track that is bad. I think ZZZ is finding its own identity, and it's doing quite well compared to what our resident tourist of a gacha enthusiast is trying to make. So, tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. Did we hit the mark? Did we not hit the mark? Because, I mean, when it comes down to it, even Weathering Waves back in November did drip marketing for characters in November all the way until April of 2025. So, with all that being stated, guys, y'all have yourselves a good one. Take it easy, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, always keep it real, and we will catch you on the flip side. Peace.